The character is currently living on the precinct following the breakdown in her relationship with Kevin Webster, Michael Lavelle. Abby has been dealing with the frustrating aspect of renting a property, a nightmare landlord. Her flat stinks of damp, and the odor is now making her clothes smell bad as well. During tonight's episode, Abby tried making a call to her useless landlord about how her flat needs repairing. Listening in on this was Leanne Battersby, Jane Danson, who sympathized with Abby's situation and hoped it was sorted quickly. That afternoon, Leanne spent time debating whether she'd give Idris Nazir, Junade Khan, another chance. Earlier in the week, the newcomer landed in trouble with Leanne after he muted a call on her phone from Toya Battersby, Georgia Taylor. He had no idea that Toya was calling Leanne to remind her about visiting Sam Blakeman, Jude Reardon, at the mental health unit, and selfishly meddled with her phone because he wanted to spend more time with her. Leanne decided to give Idris another chance. Moments later, Abby arrived to pick up a takeaway while making another call to her landlord. She was left stunned when Idris' phone started ringing, revealing that he was the person she'd been trying to contact. That evening, Abby was sat beside son Alfie as he fell asleep. The young lad has an awful cough, and Abby concluded they'd be going to the doctors about it soon. Unbeknownst to Abby, horrific black mold has formed underneath Alfie's bed. It has appeared as a result of the poor conditions Abby is living in, and will be the reason Alfie is rushed to A&E next week. Doctors will tell Abby that she needs to find somewhere else to live immediately, so she moves back in with Kevin. As Idris and Brody Michaelis, Ryan Mulvey, panic about fixing the flat, Leanne Nalia Nazir Serkan point out that the person who sold Idris the flat potentially knew about the damp all along. Overwhelmed and angry, Abby wants to hold someone accountable for what has happened to her boy. Sally Webster, Sally Dinover, suggests that Abby speaks to Adam Barlow, Sam Robertson, about taking legal action, but will Abby win her fight? Life has never stayed calm for Abby Webster in Coronation Street, but the latest crisis could become the most heartbreaking challenge she has ever faced. Just when she believed her family had finally found some stability, terrifying fears begin to grow around young Alfie, leaving Abby and Kevin Webster facing every parent's worst nightmare. The emotional storyline begins with what seems like nothing more than a minor illness. Alfie appears unusually tired, refusing to play with his toys and struggling to keep his food down. At first, Abby assumes it's just another childhood bug. Like many parents, she believes a little rest and plenty of fluids will have him back on his feet in no time. But something doesn't feel right. As the days pass, Alfie's condition refuses to improve. Instead, he develops a persistent fever and becomes increasingly weak. Kevin notices that even Abby, normally the strongest person in any crisis, is beginning to panic. Every cough, every restless night, and every worrying symptom chips away at her confidence. The couple rush Alfie to the medical center, hoping doctors can quickly identify the problem. Instead, they receive devastating news. Doctors explain that they need to carry out urgent tests to determine the cause of Alfie's symptoms. While they refuse to jump to conclusions, they warn Abby and Kevin that several serious conditions need to be ruled out. Those words hit Abby harder than anything she's heard in years. Anyone who knows Abby understands why this situation affects her so deeply. She's survived addiction, grief, trauma, and endless setbacks. Every time life knocked her down, she somehow found the strength to fight back. But this is different. This isn't about her. This is about her son. As Alfie is admitted for further observation, Abby desperately tries to stay positive in front of him. She forces a smile, tells silly jokes, and promises they'll be home before he knows it. But the moment she steps outside the hospital room, the brave face disappears. Kevin finds her sitting alone in the corridor, overwhelmed by fear. For once, Abby admits she doesn't know how to cope. Kevin becomes her rock throughout the ordeal. Despite battling his own fears, he reassures Abby that whatever happens, they'll face it together. Their relationship, which has survived countless storms over the years, is pushed to its emotional limits as they wait for answers. Meanwhile, concern spreads across Weatherfield. Friends begin offering support as word reaches the street that Alfie has been taken to hospital. Roy quietly checks in on the family, while Sally insists on helping however she can. Even residents who have often clashed with Abby put their differences aside, recognizing that no parent deserves to experience such uncertainty. The waiting becomes almost unbearable. An hour feels like an eternity as doctors continue their investigations. Every time a consultant walks toward them, Abby's heart races. Is this finally the answer? Or is more bad news coming? When the first test results arrive, they provide little comfort. Doctors explain that additional examinations are needed before they can make a definitive diagnosis. Abby immediately assumes the worst. Her imagination spirals out of control, convincing herself that every possible outcome is catastrophic. Sleepless nights only make things worse, leaving her emotionally exhausted and physically drained. Kevin tries to remain optimistic, reminding her that no diagnosis has been confirmed. But even he struggles to hide the fear in his own eyes. The storyline also explores the emotional toll that medical uncertainty places on parents. Rather than dramatic hospital emergencies, much of the tension comes from waiting for phone calls, waiting for doctors, waiting for results that could change everything. It's a fear many viewers will recognize. Every small improvement offers hope, only for another setback to follow. One day Alfie appears brighter, laughing with a nurse and asking for his favorite snack. The next day he's exhausted again, sending Abby back into panic. As pressure mounts, Abby begins blaming herself. She wonders whether she missed early warning signs. Should she have taken him to the doctor sooner? Did she ignore symptoms because she was too distracted by everything happening at home? Kevin quickly shuts down those thoughts, reminding her that no loving parent could have done more. Still, guilt continues eating away at Abby. Elsewhere on the street, neighbors quietly rally around the Websters. Meals are dropped off, offers of childcare arrive, and heartfelt messages remind Abby she isn't facing this battle alone. Even so, nothing eases the anxiety surrounding Alfie's condition. As doctors move closer to identifying the illness, viewers are left fearing that the diagnosis could change the Webster family's future forever. Whether the outcome ultimately brings relief or heartbreak, one thing becomes clear: this experience changes Abby in ways she never expected. She begins appreciating every ordinary moment with Alfie, the bedtime stories, messy breakfasts, cuddles on the sofa, and laughter that once seemed routine. Faced with the possibility of losing those precious moments, she realizes how fragile happiness can be. Kevin undergoes his own transformation too. Watching Abby struggle reminds him just how much their family means to him. The crisis strengthens their bond, proving that love isn't measured during the easy times but during life's darkest moments. For viewers, the storyline promises some of the year's most emotional scenes. Abby's vulnerability, Kevin's quiet strength, and the uncertainty surrounding Alfie's health create a gripping family drama that feels painfully real. The story highlights the fears shared by parents everywhere, that a normal day can suddenly become the beginning of an unimaginable ordeal. As the Webster family waits for life-changing answers, Weatherfield stands united behind them. But until doctors finally reveal what's making Alfie so seriously ill, every smile carries uncertainty, every phone call brings fresh anxiety, and every passing moment feels precious. For Abby Webster, this isn't just another challenge to overcome. It's the fight for the person she loves most in the world. And whatever happens next, Coronation Street fans can expect an emotional roller coaster that will leave viewers reaching for the tissues and hoping that, this time, the Webster family finally gets the happy ending they so desperately deserve. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Coronation Street News 24.